Hello friends, this video on some natural phenomena part 10 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. So now we are going to talk about the next important natural phenomenon, that is earthquake. So we will see what is an earthquake, why this earthquake takes place, and how can we prevent ourselves, or how can we protect as much as possible from such earthquakes. So what is an earthquake? Now, have you ever experienced earthquake? How does it feel during an earthquake? You feel as if everything is shaking. The floor is shaking, all the furnitures inside your house, they are all moving. So the wall hangings, they are again hanging. So everything tends to shake during an earthquake. So why or how this shaking takes place? So this is a sudden violent shaking of the ground that results in destruction of life and property. Now sometimes this shaking becomes, now the kind of shaking which I was talking about just now was kind of mild earthquake where you can just feel the movement, nothing else happens. But sometimes it becomes so severe that the tall buildings, they fall off, and they fall off on a lot of persons die, people living inside those houses, they die, they get injured. Not only that, there is a huge loss of property, because when such huge buildings get damaged or huge offices get damaged, a lot of precious things also get damaged along with that. So earthquakes, if it is a major earthquake, in that case it can cause huge destruction of life as well as property. So here in this picture you can actually see the after effects of an earthquake. So everything is devastated, everything is broken. So it's a huge loss actually. So now when we talk about earthquake, how do you think the entire building falls down just due to shaking of the ground? Just think of this little house or this little pillar which is built using the playing cards. You would have also tried this, or maybe you try this even now. So you try to build a house using the playing cards. Now let us suppose if nobody is disturbing the entire house as such. But let us say somebody comes and tries to push or pull the lowermost layer. So even if he removes just one card or just flickers on one card, what happens? The entire construction gets destroyed. So a similar thing happens in case of earthquake. So when the ground is shaking, what is ground? Ground is the base, right? So when a house gets constructed, the pillars are like dug inside the ground. So now when the ground itself is shaking, so the base becomes unstable. So everything that is lying above it, that stood so tall, so big, so everything tend to fall down. So that's how earthquakes happen. Now the consequences of earthquakes are devastating. They cause huge loss. They cause death of a lot of people. Not only people, they cause death of a huge number of organisms, whether it is birds, insects, animals, or human beings. Injuries, so many people get injured because people living inside the houses which fall off, there are so many big houses which fall on a lot of people, so they get their legs or arms fractured. So some of them get severely injured. So a lot of injuries also happen. Destruction of homes. Now when the houses are breaking down like anything, so everything inside the house also gets damaged. Destruction of transport and communication links. Now, when just now I showed you the picture of an earthquake. Now, what happens is, it is not only the buildings which are getting destroyed, even bridges, dams, roads, everything get destroyed. So the communication system also gets affected. The roads get blocked, because maybe some big buildings have fallen off on the road, so the roads get blocked, the waterways also get blocked, so communication links do not work, like telephone wires and all those stuff also get messed up. So it becomes really difficult to transport from that place. Even if somebody wants to go away from that place, transportation becomes difficult. Communication over phones, that also gets difficult. So all the transport and communication links also get hampered. Contamination of water. Now everywhere so many things are breaking down, so what happens is the water bodies also get contaminated with lot of undesired substances, like say the sand, brick, and everything is there messed up here and there. So the same thing goes into the nearby water bodies, and that's how it contaminates water. Now when water gets contaminated, the chances of spreading diseases also increases, because the water which you are drinking is not pure. The food availability also decreases, because everything has a negative impact, right? So since whatever you are eating and drinking is not good, so the chances of developing diseases also increase. It can also lead to tsunamis and landslides. What is tsunami? Tsunami is nothing but a series of waves in a water body which is caused due to displacement of a large volume of water. So like normally you would have seen the sea waves. Now when the similar waves, but they are like extremely huge. They are so huge that a tsunami can actually destroy a complete locality near a sea or near an ocean. So it's caused by, it generally happens in an ocean or a big lake. So earthquake can also lead to tsunamis, because the ground itself is shaking, so the water bodies also get disturbed. It can also lead to landslides. Landslides are nothing but movement of rock or earth down a slope. So there are big pieces of rocks which fall down a slope. So when these rocks fall, that also destroy a lot of life and property. So these are some of the harmful effects of earthquakes. And the unfortunate part is that, like in case of lightning, we saw that lightning can also cause a lot of damage, but at least we can understand when lightning has to happen. For example, the presence of heavy clouds, thunderstorm, they all indicate that lightning might happen. So a lot of people can actually prevent themselves from the after effects of lightning. There are lightning conductors which can help to protect buildings. But in case of earthquake, the problem is that nobody can exactly predict when an earthquake will occur. So prediction part is still not completely known. Now when we cannot predict when it can occur, so we really can't stay prepared for an earthquake anytime. So if you know that, okay, an earthquake is going to happen in the next 15 days in this particular area, what you can do is you can get that area evacuated. But that is possible only when you know that this is going to happen. But that is the saddest part about earthquake, that it is not predictable. So all we can do is we can just try our best to make sure that the minimum loss is caused if an earthquake ever happens. So in order to minimize the after effects of earthquakes, what we have done is, earthquake has been studied in more detail. So we have found out the areas which are more prone to earthquakes. Now those areas have been established in such a way that the consequences of earthquakes are minimum there. So now what causes earthquake? Again, related to the cause of earthquakes also, there are a lot of myths, there are a lot of traditional stories which are being told by our ancestors regarding the cause of earthquakes. Now in fact, different parts of the world, there are different stories which are prevalent. So for example, in India, many people say that there is an elephant. Some people say that there is a big bull which is holding the entire earth. So when the bull gets tired and it tries to shake its head, then the entire earth moves, and that's why we feel that shaking due to the movement of the bull. Somebody says that it is not a bull, instead an elephant which is holding the entire earth. So when the elephant gets tired and it tries to move its head, then the earthquake occurs. Again, in some other part of the world, like in China, they say that there is a giant frog which is actually sleeping under the earth. So whenever the frog moves, we feel an earthquake. In some parts of Japan, people say that it is neither a frog nor an elephant. Instead, there is a big catfish which is living below the earth's surface. So movement of the catfish is causing the earthquake. Now all these are nothing but stories just to entertain kids, but they are not reality. In reality, there is neither a frog nor a catfish, not even a bull or an elephant under the earth. So we will see what is actually there inside the earth, and then we will see the real reason or the real cause behind an earthquake. Thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more educational videos with a better experience. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for latest updates. Thank you once again.